Hello, everybody. It's Bob Anderson, and today is May 30th, 2025. And I've been done trading for quite a while, actually. But I've been real busy today, so I'm just throwing this video together. Just a little side note. Last night, I'm a YouTube fanatic myself. I don't even have cable TV. Maybe that's why I'm a little smarter than some people. But anyways, I watch YouTube all the time. Well, last night there was this video that popped up, because again, I get a lot of videos about trading or whatever, and it was this gentleman who started on the floor of in Wall Street as like a clerk or whatever. Fast forward several years later, many years later, he was he at one time amounted to 80% of the floor volume for IBM, the company. So, he became a big dog. So fast forward to what's the point of me saying this in this video? I found something amazing in the video. He started talking about how today, he's retired and all that stuff, and all he does is trade futures. He trades the NASDAQ and the ES predominantly. Now, here's the interesting part. And he talked about how the algorithms that used to control the market back when he was involved with floor trading and today. And he was talking about how he just sits there and looks at the imbalance between the ES and the NQ and then looks for areas of known resistance slash support and then the breaks of them. And he was talking about how just that day, now he's been his history on Wall Street was like 50 years. And he was talking about how like he jumps into these NASDAQ trades when there's an imbalance one direction, back the other way off of a support slash resistance, whatever. By the way, he mentioned the 9 EMA. He mentioned the 9 EMA. Yeah, that's our gold line, by the way. And he said that like that day that he was doing this interview, he took two trades, one in the NQ that he said he was in it for 6 seconds, made like $300, and another one that he was in for like 16 seconds and he made like $450. And then he called it a day. And he said he just sits there and he focuses and focuses and focuses. He says number one thing he does is focus, and he just knows that they're going to run that way on certain places and then reverse it and things like that. And I just sat there and I listened to him and I thought, man, in essence, he's mentioning a lot of the same things I talk about, because what he's trying to do is he's trying to make a decision to get in a trade and have it be in his favor from the moment he gets in. He talked about how if he gets in a trade, he gets the hell out. If it's not going to work, he gets the hell out. Anyways, and so the guy interviewing him says, "Why do you trade futures?" And this is the best part. He said, "Why don't you trade, IBM, since you traded IBM on the floor for 50 years or 30 years or whatever he traded IBM for?" And he said, "Because liquidity, volatility, and lack of capital that it takes to even do it." He says the three of those things mean I can sit down and I can make $300, $600, $1,000 in a day and then walk away. He says, for me to do something like that in stocks, he says, I've got to have tons of money. I've got to leverage it. I got to do this and that and all that kind of stuff. And, So anyways, I just thought it was very interesting. It was an hour and a half long video. So a lot of it was just about his life and growing up and all that stuff. But there was about a 15, 20-minute segment where he talked about what he does right now. Anyways, I just thought I'd throw that in there. I made $565 today. $565. What I'm gonna do at the end here, I'm not gonna show you the trade that I took. I'm not gonna show you a video of it because I didn't even take a video of it. my cat was nice enough to bring a chipmunk in my house, and it was running around my house. I had a lot of things going on when this was going because I had two dogs chasing a chipmunk. Think about this. It was like it was like Christmas Vacation. It was like Christmas Vacation with Chevy Chase in my house. I thought the dogs were chasing the cat. I didn't know the chipmunk was in the house. I didn't know. Fast forward, just the dogs are running around and acting stupid, and I kept saying, "Leave the cat alone." And then they'd sit there and look at me and be like, "Okay." Then 3 minutes later, they'd be off and running again. And I'm like, "What the hell is wrong with these dogs?" Fast forward about an hour later, I come walking into my office, and this rodent runs right across the floor, right in front of me, scares the living crap out of me. No, it was a damn chipmunk. I figured out what the dogs were chasing then. Anyways, but I made my $1,000. I didn't make it by much. Granted, we didn't trade on Monday, but I think I made like $1,080 this week. But what I want to do is I want to show specific things. This is like, again, rinse, wash, repeat. I want to show the trades that I missed. That I missed. Well, I took one. That's where the $60 came from. I made $500 in the NQ. I made $60 in the in gold because or I made probably $70 because of commissions. I'm at 560. But I got into this. I mean, there was two beautiful trades that set up in gold this morning, and I was on the phone trying to design some houses and get them ordered and that kind of stuff, and it's just craziness. So I'm going to show you exactly what the heck you should have been looking for. I got in one. I got shook out because I'm just an idiot. Anyways, but both of them, and it goes back to what I was talking about in the last video. Because gold is sitting up here at $3,300, it doesn't take much. If you're on the right side of the trade, relatively early in the morning, it does not take much for it to go from here at say 33.10 to 33.20, and that's $1,000 bill. And there's two of them this morning that did exactly that, and I'm going to show them to you. And they meet my rules exactly. So I'm going to show them to you, and then that'll be this video. Next week's going to be a short week for me. I'm probably only going to be trading Monday and Tuesday. I'm going out of town Wednesday through at least Monday. So I'm probably going to have a short week. Maybe I'll get lucky on Monday or Tuesday and hit something good and have the desire to stay in it to $1,000. I don't know. We'll see. But here's a look at gold. Clear some thoughts in your mind. It's for you to look at for potential trading, because I'm telling you, I've been seeing this exact stuff happening in gold a lot lately. All right. Okay. This is gold, and what I want to talk about is, like, remember gold. And again, there was a lot of news this morning. There was news at 8:30. There was news at 9:45. There was news at 10. There was quite a bit of pieces of news for me to kind of massage my way through, which is part of the reason I spent the morning talking to factories and customers, because I didn't think really much. So anyways, I'm going to show you the trade I took and then got shaken out of, which is really frustrating. But anyways, so here's gold. All right. So it opens at 820, which is right here. Non-eventful. Here we are. We had obviously some kind of news came out early, because the news was supposed to be at 8:30, but something happened early because we had this big craziness right here. But what I want to talk about is let's blow this up. We're having a down day in gold today, because here's the open, here's the prior day close. Hell, the prior day high is probably way up here. Yeah, here's the prior day high. But we had a big range. Let me show you how big the range was the day before. Okay. Here's the prior day low. So the low is here and the high is here. That huge range creates what I'm talking about is volatility to create opportunities for big wins. Those are, if you can find a rotation pivot. All right, so let's just talk about that. So the market's been predominantly down, right? We get past 9 o'clock, whatever, here we are, and all of a sudden we come slamming straight through the red line, and now we're over an hour past the open. Created a gap, rolled back up, break of the candles, keep your stop above this, down it goes, and keep your stop on top of these candles. Watch this. If you keep these stops on top of these candles right here, as it gets broken, this one gets broken to the downside, stop here. This one gets broken to the downside, stop here. This one gets broken to the downside, stop here. This one gets broken to the downside, stop here. Follow all the way down, and then boom, you start getting flattened out, and you get broken right here. Okay, so that's 33.18. You're in at 33.22.5. So 33.18. What's that, like $400? That's about $400 if you just do the bottoms. Then now by the way, Donchian Channel, roll up. Donchian Channel, you have a hard time getting a smoother pullback than this? You have a hard time getting a smoother pullback than this in the 1 minute gold line, let alone the 5 minute red line. Boom, there's your break. This candle gets broken to the bottom, stop right here. This candle gets broken to the bottom, stop right here. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. And then boom, right here. So 33.11, 3.11.7. Your entry is 33.20.90, so 32.9. That's $920. $920. So if you traded for $1,000, you got that because it's right here. Okay, now here's your prior day overnight open. By the way, this is the trade I took that I'm about to show you. The prior day overnight open, space, finally, right here. You got to wait for that space if you're going to take the trade low. Space was created right there. A gap between the candles and that. You ran right up. Not only that, but you had right here. Oh my God. This is why I got so excited and I hit this trade. See that candle right there? That's your reset candle for your 1 minute gold line. Crossover, Donchian low, pull back, bam, down, gone. Now, what's your entry? Well, your entry is 309.50. So 309.50. Okay? 309.50. This is what this candle ran down. This one right here, this green one, ran down, put my entry at break even because I have an auto at 10 ticks. And I'm not paying attention, and it ran right back up and knocked me out. Never, by the way, never did the top of that candle get broken. If I'd have just had my stop above that candle. Never did the top of that candle get broken here or here. And then down it went. Now let's keep looking. 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 First time a candle got broken to the top, right here. 32,299.3 minus $1,020. So this one, about 400 and some dollars. This one, $900 if you just played the tops of the candles. This one, $1,020. Right there. Bing, bing, bing. 3 in a row. 3 in a row. 3 in a row. You should have walked away. If you played them the way I talk about, by protecting the top of the candle to the left, roll them down to the bottom. You just made, about $2,400 with one contract. And all that happened right here. And it's smooth as butter. Look at those candles. That space right there. Now, was it the space and then the retest, or was it the gold line? I don't know, but they were both working. You know what I'm saying? They were both doing the same thing. They were both pushing price down. That's why I took this trade. Anyways, that's what I wanted to show you for today. By the way, this right here, this exact scenario right here was what happened the last video I released. Crossover, Donchian Channel low, boom, down it went. Boom, down it went. 2 times in a row, just like that. Like 2 days ago in gold, just like that. Anyways, everybody, by the way, here's the other nice part. This is a crossover retest in the same direction that the market is predominantly in, which is down. Everybody have a good day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.